Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, if you've been following my Twitter posts recently, you may have seen that I was going to call this episode Invasion, in all caps. And there's a good reason for that. I have been invaded. And it's not any form of a good kind of invasion. Oh no. You see, the other day, I got up and I went into the kitchen to make up some coffee. I was thinking about making something to eat. And then I looked at the stove and I lost my appetite completely. Because the stove and the microscopic little bits of countertop that I have on either side of it, and okay, that's an exaggeration. It's about 1 foot wide and goes from the wall out to the same distance as the stove does on either side of the stove. Ooh, what a countertop, huh? Anyway, the stove and the surrounding countertop is covered with these little black specks. These little black specks, mouse turds. The stovetop and countertop was littered with mouse turds. So instead of making coffee and instead of having something to eat, I got out a rag and some concentrated bleach solution and cleaned the whole area thoroughly. Because that is, that's my food preparation and so on area, and some blankety blank mouse has to be whatever to come in there and start crapping all over it. Now, I have lived most of my 55 years being fortunate enough to not have a mouse problem. And now I've got one. And I figure, you know how it is. If you see one of them, there's 10 or 100 that you don't see. So that's going to be fun, figuring out how to deal with that. Mousetraps are not going to work. I'll tell you that right now. Mousetraps will not work. I have never been able to set one of those up without tripping it so that it goes off and catches, slams down on my fingers. I'm not even going to try. Besides, I wouldn't know where to find things like that to buy anyway. In other news, I had every intention of having an episode of Skyrim up and ready to go, all edited and recorded and so on and so forth, and uploaded and ready to go live in the morning. And it kind of needs to be scheduled to go live automatically because I have to go out and do some running around. I got to take my my niece over to the store so that they can do the shopping and whatnot. Life in a small town, rural area with no car. And so on. So I'm not going to be here for a big chunk of the day. And I wanted to have something ready to go up and be scheduled to automatically go live. But the files for the next episode of Skyrim are not there. So that's going to mean load up the appropriate save before that and record that whole thing. Yeah. So I may either do that or I may get on ModSauce and do something there. And I was on ModSauce for a big chunk of time this morning. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever had to, now this is for those who understand what this particular stuff of Minecraft, but if you've ever tried to automate using applied energistics to automate a this mechanism infusion something, I forget the name of it. I remember what it was, I know what it is, I just can't think of the name of it. You remember that infusion something or other? Anyway, I was trying to automate that. I spent 2 hours working on that. And I don't know whether it was just the way the two mods don't quite like each other or aren't very friendly with others or whatever, I don't know. But it was a royal pain. Ugh. So anyway, I'm working on. I'm going to try to have something ready and scheduled to go up in the morning so that there is something going up every day. In the meanwhile, when I've not been messing with that, I've been having a lot of fun with Eve Online Marketing, the marketing project there. My wealth has grown considerably just in the last few days. In the last 2 days, I have had over 40 million ISK worth of sales per day. That's really awesome. And that's great. That means that the wealth is growing considerably, and things are going to really get going. What I need to do is to set aside several hours to do some market research to add to my shopping list, to increase the number of things that I'm buying and selling. So we'll go on with that. And of course, there is something else that is new, and that is that very recently I started a new LP. I was talking with somebody recently, and they had suggested that I would try Warcraft. Now, back in 2009, I tried Warcraft, and I had a whole boatload of problems about it. And I'm not going to go into the details here, but you can read about it on my blog if you like. There's a link in the description for a post about that where I posted the first episode. And so anyway, it come down to it that after trying the free-to-play until level 20 version, I decided that it would be worth doing, and they got me Eve, and they got me game time into December. So there is now, well, not Eve. I said Eve, but I meant Warcraft. You know what I mean. Anyway, they got me the game. They got me game time into December, and I have. Well, let's see. The first episode's 30 minutes. I got about another 90 minutes worth of stuff already recorded, and it's looking like it's going to be interesting. So there's links and so on in the description for all of that stuff. And I have also spent a lot of time over the last several weeks, I almost said years because that's what it feels like, working on this Patreon thing. And I'll tell you what, so far every word that I have written for that page I have ended up deleting because it's garbage. Not the page, what I've written. I have yet to come up with anything that doesn't feel that I can read and not think that it looks like trash. I'm very critical of my own writing, you see. And so I'm going to keep working on it. Sooner or later I'll come up with something that I don't think looks like trash, or that is at least passable in my opinion. Other people may have a different opinion of it, but like I said, I'm very critical of my own stuff, of what I write, and if it doesn't feel right to me, I don't like it, and I want to hit the delete button. That sucker's gotten to work out lately, let me tell you. Anyway, that's what's going on, and I'm going to try, God help me, I'm going to try to get these vlogs up much more frequently in the very near future. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here. Here's the Tinfoil Ship.